Erica Moore's heels click against marble as she scans the ballroom entrance, her stomach tightening at the sight of the Lee Group crest glowing above the doors. She almost turns back to the car. Almost. "You can do this," she whispers. "One night. Finish the contract. Leave Seoul. Forget his name." Inside, crystal chandeliers throw light across 500 of Korea's most powerful faces. Reporters line the perimeter, cameras already hungry. Erica adjusts her clutch and steps forward, chin lifted, because 6 years of building a career from nothing has taught her one rule: never let them see you flinch. She doesn't see him yet. He sees her. Lee Jaehyun stands near the stage, black suit sharp enough to cut glass, expression unreadable to everyone except the one man beside him who has known him since childhood. "She's here," his assistant murmurs. "Sir, the chairman is watching you. Let him watch." Jaehyun's grandfather, Chairman Lee Sung-woo, sits at the head table like a king surveying his court. Tonight, the throne comes with a price. Beside an empty chair reserved for Jaehyun sits Min-ji, daughter of the Choi conglomerate, dressed in the pearls the family purchased for exactly this purpose. "Smile more," the chairman says quietly to his grandson as he passes. "Tonight you become a husband." Jaehyun doesn't answer. His eyes are already searching the crowd. He finds her near the far wall, speaking with a hotel executive, laughing politely at something that clearly bores her. 6 years haven't changed the way his chest tightens at the sight of her. "Erica," he says it under his breath, like a confession he's rehearsed 1,000 times and never had the courage to finish. Across the room, Erica feels the weight of a stare before she turns. When her eyes land on him, her breath catches, and she hates herself for it. "Ms. Moore," a voice interrupts. It's the chairman himself, gliding toward her with practiced warmth that never touches his eyes. "Lee Group is grateful for your firm's work on our hotel division." "Thank you, Chairman Lee. It's been a pleasure. I trust you'll enjoy tonight's announcement." His smile sharpens. A new chapter for this family. He walks away before she can respond, but the words settle like ice in her stomach. She already knows what's coming. Everyone in this room knows. Jaehyun crosses the floor toward her, and every step feels louder than the music. "You look well," he says. "I am well." Her voice is flat, controlled. "How's the merger with the Choi family? I hear congratulations are in order." "Erica, don't." She keeps her tone even, professional. A wall built brick by brick over 6 years. "We don't need to pretend we're friends, Jaehyun. I'm here for business. Nothing else. I never stopped thinking about you. That's not something you get to say to me anymore." She turns to walk away, but his hand catches her wrist, gently, desperately. "5 minutes," he says. "Give me 5 minutes tonight. That's all I'm asking. You had 6 years. She pulls free and disappears into the crowd, leaving him standing there with his fists clenched at his sides, jaw tight, eyes burning with something between grief and resolve. The chairman's assistant taps the microphone. The room went silent. "Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll direct your attention to the stage, Chairman Lee has an announcement." Erica's stomach drops. She positions herself near the back, ready to slip out the moment it's over. The chairman steps up, beaming for the cameras. "Tonight, Lee Group begins a new era of partnership and legacy. It is my honor to announce the engagement of my grandson, Lee Jaehyun, to Ms. Choi Min-ji." Applause ripples through the room. Photographers surge forward. Min-ji rises from her seat, smoothing her dress, waiting for Jaehyun to join her at the podium as rehearsed. He doesn't move. Whispers spread through the crowd like static. "Jaehyun." The chairman's voice hardens beneath his smile. "Come." Every eye in the ballroom turns toward him. Erica freezes near the exit, unable to look away. Jaehyun straightens his jacket, takes a breath, and instead of walking to the stage, he walks the opposite direction. Past the cameras, past the stunned investors, past his own furious grandfather. Directly toward her. "What are you doing?" Erica whispers as he stops in front of her, the entire room now watching. "Something I should have done 6 years ago." He reaches for her hand. She doesn't pull away this time, she can't. Her heart is pounding too loudly to think. The chairman's voice cracks through the silence like a whip. Jaehyun, get back on this stage. Now. Every camera in the room turns to capture the moment. Every reporter leans forward, pens ready. Jaehyun lifts Erica's hand gently in his and faces the crowd. His family, his empire, his entire world watching. He opens his mouth to speak, and the ballroom goes utterly silent. 6 years ago, Jaehyun says, his voice steady enough to reach every corner of the ballroom. I let the woman I loved walk away because I believed I was protecting her. Erica's hand trembles in his. She wants to pull away, wants to run, but her feet won't move. I was wrong. Gasps ripple across the room. Phones rise into the air, cameras flashing like lightning. If this family, this company, or this title demands that I deny her again, Jaehyun continues, then they can have everything except my future. Because the woman beside me is the only woman I have ever loved. For a moment, nobody breathes. Then chaos erupts. Minji's face drains of color before she turns and storms off the stage. Her father rising from his seat with a look that could shatter glass. Investors lean toward each other, whispering behind cupped hands. A journalist near the front is already typing furiously into her phone. The chairman's composure cracks for the first time in decades. His face reddens, veins straining at his temple as he descends the stage steps. Jaehyun. His voice is low, dangerous. You will apologize to the Choi family. Now. No. You are humiliating this family in front of everyone who matters. I've spent 6 years humiliating myself, Jaehyun says, by pretending I didn't love her. That ends tonight. Erica finally finds her voice, pulling her hand back slightly, though he doesn't let go. Jaehyun, stop. You don't have to do this. I do. You're destroying everything you've built. I built nothing that mattered without you in it. The chairman steps closer, his voice dropping so only they can hear. You think this changes anything? A black woman standing beside the head of Lee Group? The board will strip you of your title before morning. Then let them. Erica flinches at the chairman's words, old wounds tearing open in front of 500 strangers. She remembers this exact contempt from 6 years ago. The phone calls, the threats, the sudden silence from the man she loved. Only now does she understand it wasn't indifference. It was survival dressed as cruelty. But understanding doesn't erase the years she spent believing she wasn't enough. I need air, she says. And this time she does pull free, walking briskly toward the terrace doors as photographers chase the story with their lenses. Jaehyun doesn't follow immediately. He turns to face his grandfather, the entire ballroom still watching. I loved her before I understood what love cost in this family, he says. I let you believe I chose the company over her. I let her believe I chose power over her. Both of you were wrong. I chose silence because I thought silence would protect the people I cared about. Didn't. It only destroyed me slowly, and it destroyed her without her even knowing why. You're an embarrassment, the chairman hisses. I'm finally honest. For the first time in my life. He walks away from his grandfather, from the cameras, from the board members already whispering about emergency meetings, and finds Erica standing at the terrace railing, the Seoul skyline glittering behind her like 1,000 indifferent stars. You shouldn't have done that, she says without turning. I should have done it 6 years ago. Do you know what they said to me back then? Your grandfather's people. Her voice shakes now, the composure finally slipping. They told me I'd never work in this country again. They said my nonprofit would lose every donor within a week if I didn't disappear quietly. And then you just stopped calling, stopped texting, like I was nothing. I know. You know? She turns to face him, eyes glistening under the terrace lights. You knew what they were doing to me? I made them do it to me instead. I let them believe I'd agreed to end things because I thought if I fought back, they'd destroy you completely instead of just scaring you. I thought coldness would keep you safe. You don't get to decide what keeps me safe, Jaehyun. You don't get to make that choice for me and then disappear. You're right. Words don't undo 6 years. I'm not asking you to forgive me because of what I said in there. He gestures back toward the ballroom, where the noise of scandal still hums faintly through the glass doors. I'm asking for the chance to prove it. Every day if I have to, not with speeches, with actions. Erica studies him for a long moment, searching his face for the boy she once loved beneath the composed, guarded man standing in front of her now. My flight back to New York is in 4 days, she finally says. Then I have 4 days. Jaehyun, your family will destroy your career over this. Let them try. Before she can respond, the terrace door bursts open. This is his assistant, pale and breathless. Sir, the board is calling an emergency session. Tonight, they're voting on your position as CEO. Jaehyun's jaw tightens, but his eyes never leave Erica. They want an answer by morning, the assistant adds. Either you issue a public apology and confirm the engagement with Ms. Choi, or they remove you from the company your family built. The wind sweeps across the terrace, carrying the distant murmur of a scandal already spreading across every news outlet in Seoul. Erica watches him, waiting, and for the first time all night, Jaehyun looks less like a CEO and more like a man standing at the edge of everything he's ever known. About to jump. The boardroom feels colder than usual at midnight, 13 faces lit by tablet screens and simmering fury. Jaehyun stands at the head of the table where his grandfather usually sits, though tonight the chairman remains standing, arms crossed, waiting for surrender. The choice is simple, the chairman says. Apologize publicly, reaffirm the engagement, and this scandal disappears by next week. Refuse, and the board votes you out before sunrise. Jaehyun looks around the table at men who have known him since he was a boy learning to tie a necktie, men who once called him the future of Lee Group. I built the hotel division from nothing, he says. I secured contracts across 4 continents. I've given this company everything except the one thing you're now demanding, the right to control who I love. Sentiment doesn't run a conglomerate, a board member mutters. Neither does prejudice dressed up as strategy. The chairman slams his palm on the table. You would throw away everything for her? I already tried living without her. It cost me more than any title ever could. Silence stretches across the room until Jaehyun finally speaks the words that end the meeting. I resign as CEO of Lee Group, effective immediately. Gasps ripple around the table. His grandfather's face goes rigid with disbelief, as though the words don't compute. You're bluffing. I'm not. Jaehyun unclips the company pin from his lapel and sets it on the polished table. Choose whoever you'd like to replace me. Just remember, the moment I walk out of this room, so does every partnership I personally built. He turns and leaves without waiting for a response, footsteps echoing down the marble hallway, lighter than they've felt in years. Outside, dawn is breaking over Seoul, painting the skyline in soft gold. Erica is waiting by the entrance, having heard everything through his assistant's frantic phone call an hour earlier. You actually did it, she says. I told you. Actions, not words. Jaehyun, that company is your family's legacy. Generations of work. A legacy built on controlling who I'm allowed to love isn't one I want to inherit. For the first time since she arrived in Seoul, Erica's guarded expression softens completely. I'm not going to pretend everything's fixed, she says. The last 6 years don't disappear because you gave up a job. I know. I'm not asking you to forget them. I'm asking you to let me earn something new. The days that follow prove harder than the gala itself. Reporters camp outside Erica's hotel. Business partners whisper about the fallen heir who chose love over legacy. But Jaehyun never wavers. He handles every interview with quiet honesty, never asking Erica to hide, never asking her to explain herself to anyone. He shows up, every single day. He drives her to client meetings without being asked. He learns her coffee order without her mentioning it once. When a tabloid publishes a cruel headline about her, he issues a public statement defending her character within the hour, not out of obligation, but because staying silent is no longer something he's willing to do. Slowly, the distance between them narrows. 2 weeks later, news breaks that a coalition of investors, impressed by Jaehyun's integrity and disturbed by the chairman's handling of the scandal, have withdrawn their backing from the old leadership entirely. They approach Jaehyun directly, offering him control of a newly restructured company, built on transparent governance and modern values. He accepts, but only after one condition is met. No family member, no board, no chairman will ever again have the power to dictate his personal life. The chairman, stripped of the influence that once made him untouchable, watches from the sidelines as the empire he tried to protect slips entirely from his grasp. Months pass. On a quiet evening, Jaehyun brings Erica to a rooftop garden overlooking the city. No photographers, no crowds, no cameras waiting to capture the moment for headlines. Just string lights and the distant hum of Seoul settling into night. No gala this time, she says, smiling faintly. No audience, just us. He takes her hand, the same way he did that night in the ballroom, except now there's no defiance in his eyes, only certainty. I'm not asking you to stay because of what I gave up, he says. I'm asking because I want a future with you, built on truth this time. No secrets, no silence, just choice. Erica studies him for a long moment, 6 years of pain slowly settling into something lighter, something that finally feels like peace. This time, she says softly, we're choosing each other. The city lights flicker below them, indifferent to the empire that crumbled or the one quietly rising in its place. All that matters now is the two of them, finally standing on equal ground. If this story moved you, don't scroll past without hitting subscribe. More stories like this are coming every week.